there, I'm Steve, and welcome to Jamsin Entertainment. And welcome to the conversation. Just before we get started, there are many ways you can help. You can like and subscribe so you never miss the conversation. But most importantly, please share this video. Get the word out there as a community. We can talk about all things that we love. I recently just saw The Matrix Resurrections. I had a blast with this movie. Basic plot is Neo / Thomas Anderson is back in the Matrix, and you would think you would have to watch the entire trilogy for this to understand what's going on. But the movie made to inform you as it went along. And so if you've never seen The Matrix, you can actually watch this by itself. It's quite astonishing. Just like the first one's a standalone, this one could be a standalone. Yes, it does use footage from the other movies in here to use as flashbacks, just reminders for the audience maybe who haven't seen the other movies in a while, but it's also there for any new audience members. And in a way, this kind of suffers from sequel-itis, but it doesn't at the same time, because this movie is very aware of itself, and not so much where it's like in your face obnoxious. It almost gets there a lot of the times, but it goes right up to that point. And with that said, Thomas Anderson is in the Matrix. Part of the movie being aware of itself is Tom is a game designer, and he made a trilogy of video games called The Matrix. The movie opens up almost exactly like the first movie. That's why I was like, what's going on here? And it just kind of draws you in that way. And it's very clever how they bring back certain characters. I won't go into spoilers, obviously. I need to talk to my friends so we can get on the podcast and we can talk about all the pop culture stuff that's been happening. So if you've seen the trailers, what I'm going to talk about isn't spoilers. If you haven't seen the trailers, you haven't seen the movie, and you haven't seen the previous movies, why are you watching this review? If you've seen the trailers, you know that Tom / Neo gets brought out of the Matrix again. All the themes that were in the original 3 movies are back in this movie, and then there's more themes. That's kind of where it gets almost too self-aware, because the franchise is kind of making fun of itself. It's a commentary of what's happened to the movies, and it's a commentary of what's happened since the movies. I mean, not only about the movies, but what's happened to the world in general. It's a commentary on today. It all works very well, and it's a little comedic because they are so on the nose about so many things, but not to the point where it ruins the movie, thankfully. And what else saves it is the action. Now, the action, it's good and it's bad at the same time. So this is only directed by one of the Wachowskis, Lana. I don't know why her now sister, I'm sorry, isn't part of this. Maybe they didn't want to. They were like, you do it, you take care of it, I'm done with the franchise. It turns out good for only one of the Wachowskis working on this. I don't know if it was, sorry, I think the other Wachowski is Lily. Please forgive me if I got that wrong. I'll put it up in post. I think both of the Wachowskis working together is what made the action scenes in the original 3, or maybe it was a choreographer of the action in those 3 movies. I don't know, but for some reason, the action in this is okay. What stops it from being good or even great is that a lot of it's shot up close and it's kind of shaky. So my 2 gripes with this movie is that it almost goes overboard with being self-aware and really like on the nose with what it's trying to talk about, because in the past films, it was a little more subtle. I mean, yes, the other films had their moments where it wasn't so subtle, but this movie is like in your face with it, but not to a degree where it's obnoxious and unenjoyable. And the action, I don't know why, but in this one, they don't really sit back and just show you the action. They try to get in there. There's movies that can do that very well. The Kingsman series does that very well, and that's the next review to come out, Kingsman. I can't wait to see that movie. But other than that, it's a very well done movie. It's in the same vein as the other 3 movies, and it continues the story, and it does a good job of bringing closure to the franchise, I think. Who knows? Maybe there will be a Matrix 5. I mean, they do build upon the world, so there is a possibility there. I just don't want it to become a possibility because, well, look at the Pirate Caribbean movies. I had a blast with this movie. I'm looking forward to getting it on Blu-ray. I suggest you go out and see it in theaters, and when it comes to disc, you get it out on Blu-ray. If you have seen Matrix Resurrections, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like what you saw, like it. If you think other people will like it, share it. If you really liked it, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and live your imagination.